Welcome to the Just Montina channel where we're having conversations about marriage, men, and mindset. And if you are a new viewer, welcome. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed, I sure appreciate you. I'm trying to put out my shorts every day and things like that. So I'm having a lot of fun over here on this new channel. A lot of fun. Um, so in this video, I want to talk to my women over 40. I've talked to my single women, I've talked to my married women, I've talked to my men over 50, and this is specifically for single women over 40. Now, anyone can listen, but this is who this is intended for. And I want to talk to you all because I was a single, I'm not single anymore. But when I was single over 40, I was not thinking about a relationship or a man. Absolutely not. My daughter brought it to my attention that mom, you need to be dating. There's men out there that are nice for you, and she just wouldn't go away. Like, you know, how you have this gnat, and it's like mosquitoes. Like, get away. She just wouldn't stop talking about it. And what happened was, make sure my mic's still on. It is. What happened was she finally kind of convinced me to get on Match.com. I went to see her at the time. She was in New York. We took some pictures in front of the New York Library. They were pretty nice. And she's like, Mom, let me put you on Match. And she had known a few people that got met their significant others and got married off Match. But I'm like, yeah, one was Asian. So I'm like, honey, you know, that's probably easy. Them white men want her. You know, I'm telling you, I'm so sorry I was being stereotypical. Now, my granddaughter is part Asian, so I don't mean that in any way to be mean or hateful. So she put me on Match, and I went on a date with a gentleman, and he was so nice. He was a little shorter than me, which didn't bother me at the time. But by our second date, he was like, what would you say if I got down on a knee and asked you to marry me? And it just tripped me out. And I shut down, kind of ghosted him. He unmatched me. It was on Tinder. Okay. And then I deleted the app because I a business meeting with someone's like, I think I saw you on Tinder. And I was like, oh my God. Like, that was one of my fears of someone I knew was going to see me. So what? You know, why are you afraid if you're dating? So my daughter put me on Match. And then I just wasn't rating. I waited a whole nother year. And by this time, I was about 3.5 years divorced. And I went back on Match, met someone that I actually saw for about 8 months. Super nice, but there were some things going on physically with this person that just weren't going to work for me long term. They had been in a really bad car accident. I need some water. And I was like, I got back on Match and met my husband. I was getting about 100 messages a week, and I didn't go out on any more dates. My husband, I'm kind of like a one and done. My daughter, kids, I've been married or I'm in a relationship, and that's it. Like, I've had one long relationship, 2 marriages, and I'm in my third marriage. So I'm not the type of person, I like you. Like, I'm the type of person, like, but let's make it work. Okay. But my point of it is, there's a lot out there about should you date online? Should you meet someone offline? And I will tell you, the window of opportunity for you is rapidly closing. Pick one or do both. It doesn't matter. You can meet someone, but the challenge most of the time with us is, especially if you're going to have an edge as a woman over 40, if you're fit, if you're naturally feminine, if you're attractive, if you just have a nice bubbly personality. Now, you can be introverted, but just be a nice, kind person, and it's going to be so much easier for you. But you're probably too shy to meet men in person. Now, I have a more extroverted personality. Even though I like to be to myself, I have the only child syndrome. But I can talk to anybody, honey. I can go anywhere, have a conversation with anybody. It doesn't matter. But if that's not your natural, or if that's not your natural way that you do things, you're not going to meet anyone in public, because in our 40s, you just won't. It's very difficult. The men don't approach women like they did in their 20s. So you probably don't have a very approachable look if you're not an extroverted individual. It just is what it is. So online dating might be best for you. If you are going to do online dating, I hired that Match coach. They have if you go on Match, they have these coaches. You need somebody that you're working with to review your profiles, because if you're new at it, you need somebody to help you. I have the happywifeproject.com where I'm helping the women, reviewing bios, having conversations about, well, what did you like about this one? Okay, you went on dates, why are men ghosting you? These are real conversations, because over 40, it's not just us that you're competing with. You're competing with the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds. You're competing with the 40-something-year-olds that have stayed fit and active. You're competing with women that are divorced and like, hey, I want to get back out there. You're competing with women that are never married, no kids. Maybe they got, all my kids by the time I met my husband were almost adults. My youngest was 16. He might have been 17, 16. They were all adults, almost adults. So I had an edge on everyone else. I ain't got no little kids. I didn't have any girls at home. I would not be dating if I had a teenage daughter at home, period. I'd have to wait till she was 18. So you have a lot of competition. So I would say online dating works, offline dating works. But if you're going to go with the offline choice, that decision to make, then it needs to be clubs. It needs to be you can't do Planet Fitness. You're gonna have to go to LA Fitness, Lifetime Fitness. You need to pay to go high end clubs. Golfing would be good. Pickleball would be good for you. Wine tasting. My husband and I visited a distillery. But, looking at all the men, I think they were all married. But that's something like you need to be doing things, and you're probably going to need to do them more alone than with groups of women. I don't know about lounges. Like my husband doesn't go to lounges. They don't go to lounges, but they do go on guys trips, but they're all married. And that's golfing. Um, but meetup.com, people talk about eventbrite.com. I personally don't do business and personal. I could have probably met someone a long time ago before I met my husband, but I don't mix business. I personally don't do it. But there might be someone that, like your work husband, I've done a video about it. Now, in the business community, it's different. I would have dated somebody that I worked with, though. Yeah, I would have done something like that, probably in a whole different department or a whole different building. I don't think I want to see somebody like down the hall that, his office is there. But in business, I didn't mix it. I didn't want to have a reputation where I slept my way to success. And in the business world, I didn't want to get any contracts and there was something that was compromised. But I'd say your work husband, especially y'all working with these military bases, y'all work for the VA. What in the world? Y'all got all these amazing vets around you, these men, girl. Ain't no way I would be single. So I would just say broaden your horizons. Travel clubs, but luxury, but you want to definitely open up your heart and start having conversations with men. You all are not confident. One thing about my husband, he said about me was that I was interesting. Can you have have conversations with men you're not interested in? So my gym, um, the cleaning people, I talk to everybody. I talk to men, but just have conversations. And I just find that a lot of women are very nervous about having conversations with men. But naturally, you're going to start attract, like they see me, they run to me. Hey, I went to one of my gyms after the new year and they run up, give me hugs, and they side hugs. Honey, you get the church hug, you don't get the real hug my husband get. But read books, Getting to I Do, The Secret to Doing Relationships Right. And then join my Patreon society, for real, thehappywifeproject.com, because I'll talk with you. But some of y'all are just kind of nerd. You don't have that natural confidence and attractiveness over 40 that you need, because it's fierce competition. Why you? Why would he choose you when he can make the choice to do nothing at all, right? Stay single, date a younger person, date somebody that's competitively in his league, or so he thinks, right? These men. But in the business world, I always say they have the choice to do it themselves, go with the competition, or do nothing at all. And it's kind of the same here. He can stay happily single, just like you can stay happily single. And if you're not happy single, if you're unhappy, you're not going to be happy married. It doesn't work that way. I think when I was younger, I thought, oh, happy married. It doesn't work that way. You have to have self-love. But if you're happy single and like, man, I just think I could add value. Like, I like my husband coming home. I like cuddling up with him last night, and he's all nice and warm and toasty in the bed. And we went golfing yesterday, and I'm making videos for y'all. I made him a cute little video too. I like it. He's my favorite friend. If you desire a favorite friend, it's okay if it's long-term relationship or marriage. I don't know that I'm convinced you need to be married if you don't want to be married. I had benefits before I met my husband. I still have my same benefits because I have to keep my kids on the insurance, my adult children. Um, I mean, my life changed, but it just isn't a significant change. I'm just married and I see the same person every single day and I enjoy him and we're getting to know each other more and more and more. Um, so I think I'm kind of rambling. I'm trying to just keep these, I don't care. It's my passion project. I'm not trying to make subs and make money off YouTube, but I am trying to get you into the society so that you can have the support you need. Because over 40, especially if you're divorced, you have kids, don't have kids, it's different. This landscape is different. And Anybody that's telling you otherwise has probably been married a long time, or they probably don't have a man and they teaching, femininity or just whatever. But I'm just recently out of it. So I'm still new. So I still can kind of teach you a little bit. It is different, but it is rapidly. Your window of opportunity is like it's becoming non-existent. I don't know. Once you hit 50, it's almost like, ooh. So that's why I'm like, okay, in your 40s, there's a chance. But over 50, I'm seeing videos that these women are making in lingerie, talking about they don't want men. Who you online trying to attract? I mean, I wore this to the gym. So I had to kind of keep this open because, well, I could share my Patreon. I can't share here, but let me tell you something. Women in lingerie online and you don't want a man. Who you trying to attract? But that's neither here nor there. But there are just certain things that you need to know in this dating landscape. It's different. I wouldn't, if a man's late, leave. Unless he called you because he got in an accident, leave. My husband is early. He was early every single day. He did everything he said he would do. He was always consistent. He was always uh, showing me attention and admiration and doing something nice for me, coming to my home, fixing stuff, cleaning behind my stove, cleaning behind my refrigerator, washing my clothes, folding my clothes, hanging up my clothes, cooking for me. I mean, my husband was trying to earn me just as much as I was trying to earn the ring too. Like it was always something. You don't need, as a woman over 40, to play games with men. There's too many of them out here and too many good ones out here too. For you to just be like, yeah, don't let them play games with you. Okay. If they're not texting you on a consistent basis, they're not interested. And men are territorial. My husband, within 2 weeks, was like, "Would you get married again?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess I would." My husband sent me a text, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Circle yes or no. And I was like, "Are you free?" I called him. I said, "You want me to be your girlfriend?" You asked me to be your girlfriend. He's like, "Yeah, uh-huh." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "You spoken for." I mean, these men are not playing. Now, your future mate might not do it that way, but they're territorial, and what they want, they want. My husband knew I was not going to be on the block long once I got out there. He was like, I want to shut this down. And then he did everything he could to prove, like, not prove love, but when he told me he loved me, I said, "Well, you sure?" It's a couple weeks. He said, "I can show you better than I can tell you." And he, to this day, shows me better than he tells me. He tells me every day. I tell him every day, but he shows me. So love is an action verb. These men show love, but remember, they don't need your love. They need your respect. So do you admire him? Um, do you respect him? Is he someone that you would feel proud introducing to not just your family, introduce anyone in our family, but you're in a business or a professional setting? Because this is where we're at now. So is this someone that you're like, okay, they wouldn't embarrass me? Because men think of that, but I think of that too. I'm like, would this person embarrass me? What are they going to wear? My husband is kind of, he's 55 this month, but he's kind of spunky. Like he wears lots of tennis shoes. And so, I had to get used to that. Like, but when he dresses, oh my God, he dresses. I had to actually start dressing a different way. So, again, I just wanted to share some things with you all. I'm rambling a little bit, but that's what I do. Join my Patreon society, and I'll see you all in the next video. You can ask me questions at askmontina@gmail.com, and I'm here for you. Join the happywifeproject.com. And if you are interested in getting a man, I've read dozens of books. I've done, listened to literally hundreds, probably thousands of hours of audio, and I still do. I still do. But if you're interested in leveling up, attracting the love that you desire and deserve, join the happywifeproject.com. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.